Lipsi traveled through the centuries. Its ancient name was Lepsia, as we know from records found on the island. Plinius mentions the island as Lepsia. Lepsia or Lipsia was inhabited during the end of the Neolithic Age, early Bronze Age, 4th to 3rd millennium BC, knowing this from pottery that came from Castro, Agios Nikolaos, and the site of Liendou. The first inhabitants of the islands were Cares. Then came the Dorians, and finally the Ionians from Miletus settled. The geographic location of the island determined its route in history, connecting it to Miletus. The political relation with Miletus during the Hellenistic period can be found in voting tablets of the island, in which the Milesians living in Lepsia are mentioned. The most important monument of Lipsi is the Castro, on the hill that rises up near the Hora of Lipsi, southeast of Tarsana. This is where the ancient Acropolis was situated, of which only ruins of the ancient walls survive, along with the bastion, the gate, and the caulked parapets. On the south side of the hill, outside the fortification walls, traces of terraces and plenty of ceramic ware testify the existence of an ancient settlement. The most important temple in Lipsi and site of offering the votes was of Apollo Lepsius. Its location can be placed at the site of Agios Nikolaos Chapel. The entire area from Agios Nikolaos to Panagia of Kousselio is full of ceramic vessel shards, dating from the prehistoric age to the early Christian period. There are also architectural elements and buildings. Amongst them, there is a four-cornered building structure of the late antiquity. At Agios Nikolaos location, a corner piece from the cornice of an altar of Milesian type was found, decorated with oval spirals and flowers made of white marble of a good craftsmanship, dating to the middle of the 5th century BC. A similar marble corner piece is kept in an old altar of the holy monastery of Patmos. In ancient Lepsia, besides the official worship of god Apollo, there was the worship of Dionysus as well as of Apollo Didymeus and Aphrodite. The myth which relates the goddess to Orion still remains alive. In small altars from the ancient Acropolis, dedicated inscriptions refer to Zeus and Artemis, the savior. However, life in Lipsi never stopped. It continued intensely into the following years, so Christian temples were erected to replace the ancient ones.
Τα ευρήματα που προκύπτουν από την ανασκαφή που διενεργείται στους Λειψούς, η οποία είναι και η πρώτη που λαμβάνει η χώρα στο νησί, χρονολογούνται στον 6ο με 7ο αιώνα μετά Χριστόν. Είναι μια περίοδος ιδιαίτερα σκοτεινή, η ύστερη αρχαιότητα και η μετάβαση προς τον Μεσαίωνα, για την οποία οι φιλολογικές πηγές σιωπούν και μόνο τα αρχαιολογικά ευρήματα μπορούν να μας πούν κάτι για την περίοδο αυτή στο συγκεκριμένο χώρο. Αυτό που έχει αποκαλυφθεί μέχρι στιγμής στην ανασκαφή εδώ είναι ένα κεραμικό εργαστήριο και τα κτίρια των εγκαταστάσεών του. Η θέση του οικοπαίδου είναι επίσης σημαντική, καθώς αυτό βρίσκεται δίπλα στη θάλασσα, γιατί μια τέτοια εγκατάσταση βιοτεχνική υποδηλώνει πως η παραγωγή των Αγίων που γινόταν εδώ έπρεπε να είναι κοντά στη θάλασσα για τη μεταφόρτωσή τους και μετά τη μεταπόλησή τους στο νησί της Σάμου και στις μεγάλες πόλεις της Μικράς Ασίας που ήταν ήδη ακμές την περίοδο εκείνη.
The churches and chapels of Lipsi, from the retreats of Pano and Kato Kimisi to the Church of the Five Saint Martyrs and the Church of St. Constantine in Platigelos, remain always in excellent condition, expressing the deep religious feelings of the inhabitants. Wherever you look, you will see small blue domes with small bell towers.
Μπορεί ο Λειψιώτης να είναι πάμπτωχος. Όταν όμως του σφινωθεί στο μυαλό να χτίσει εκκλησάκι, θα στερηθεί το ψωμί του για να το χτίσει.
There is no hillside or hillock without at least 2 or 3 white chapels. The religious feelings of the inhabitants reaches its peak when they talk about the Virgin of Death, who celebrates on August 23rd.
Κατέβα απ' το θρόνι σου και είδες για σε πως χαίρεται το όμορφο νησί σου. Δίνε υγεία σε όλους μας, κύρα μου μαυροφόρα. Σκέπαζε το νησάκι μας από τη κάθε πόρα. Φύλαε το παιδάκι μου που είναι ξενιτεμένο, κύρα του χάρου που κρατάς το γιο σου σταυρωμένο.
In the 1600s, monks of the monastery of Patmos built a basilica with 3 aisles and a dome, where the icon of the Virgin is very original. The Virgin, instead of holding the Holy Infant in her arms, she is holding him on the crucifix. Since the meanings of the words dead and death are related, the icon of the church took the name of the Virgin of Death. During the days of the German occupation in April 1943, a religious young woman placed on the icon of the Virgin a few lilies. Naturally, they dried and were left dry on the icon for some months. But when the celebration day approached, strangely enough, the lilies started turning green. And on the same day of the festival, they produced many buds. This miracle repeats itself every year in the same supernatural way. During the celebration day, many devotees from all around Greece gather, and there will be no Lipsian living away who will not return to his island to celebrate the day and honor his Virgin. All the worshippers, after the Vesper service, they return to the village. They pour ashore and to the 2 main squares of the village and start the festivities which last for 24 hours. Traditional bands and dancers take the lead. The islands of Lipsi exert an endless attraction upon the visitors. From the first days of your staying here, you'll feel like if you were one of the inhabitants, and you'll become friends with the locals. The population of Lipsi numbers 700 people, among them 140 children and adolescents. They live here because they love their land. They struggle with a smile and gallantry, making a living with their fishing boats, their melon patches, their vineyards, their sheep and goats, and their stockyards.
Ο πολιτισμός των Λειψών είναι οι άνθρωποι του. Είναι άνθρωποι απλοί και καλοσυνάτοι, με χαμόγελο και μεγάλη καρδιά.
The very well-organized transportation network of the island has regular schedules to all directions, while taxis are available on a 24-hour basis. There are ferries to Lipsi from Piraeus twice a week. The rest of the days, you'll not have a difficulty reaching the island on local boats and high speeds from the neighboring islands of Patmos, Leros and Kalymnos, which have daily boat connection from Piraeus. A regular connection exists also with the bigger islands of Dodekanes, Kos and Rhodes. Every summer there is a rich cultural program with great music and theatrical performances entertaining the locals and the visitors. The island of Lipsi, along with the smaller islands of the group, seem to be traveling like dolphins in the clear waters of the East Aegean, where the West meets the East. Lipsi, bathed in the light of the sun, the ancient god, is the land blessed by nature, created for the human standards. It is not by chance that Lipsi is thought to be one of the candidates for the location of the island of Calypso, who put a spell on Ulysses on his way